Well, today we're filming in a different location mentally. So we broke my sobriety yesterday. Not that I was like in a sober place, but inadvertently I was. So we had some grass. And I tell you what, it was nice. It was nice in the start. It was nice even later. Couple of things I noticed. It's not what I built it up to be in my head. I've woken up a bit groggy. I've woken up a little bit like it definitely takes a hit on motivation, vitality, and like energy wise, unless you're in like a ketosis state, so non-carbohydrates. And yesterday what I did is, so a couple of things. I basically can't have grass during this diet. That's just the reality of the situation. So yesterday, munchies came on, so I had like more rice and meat. Three times. So I ended up having still under maintenance, but it was also cool to notice, like, it's very true, no processed foods. Like, you don't really want to overeat. And really, my body was just like, hunger hormone higher, I'm already in a diet. So it was like, you want to eat? And I was like, that's okay, I can let my body de-stress. So I've eaten more rice, so I feel more fuller as well, and I'll get to see kind of what I look like a bit carved up today. But overall, it's also let me assess like how far, what do I actually look like? Because 2 weeks ago, I was very carved up, so I was very muscular and I had a certain look, but it was covered in a layer of fat. And now I'm like a little bit carved up and I can see, I was like, oh, so quite a bit has changed in the last 11 days. So like, cool, just continue doing that and you'll get to your mission, which has made me feel, oh, okay, it's actually just fine. Just do the thing. The fat is coming off and it's coming off evenly and muscle is staying, so happy days. There's nothing really I need to do. So that's been positive. Second of all, I've woken up and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to film this YouTube video today and I'm going to have a full rest day. Not a full rest day, I'm still going to the gym and working out, but I'm going to get a day buzz on. I'm going to go do the haircut. I'm just going to like, just treat me a little bit. Like, not treat me, like just allow myself to just exist and be. Like, you know what? I can just exist and be. I've been so hard on myself for this whole time. It's also given me it's given me some like breakthrough in some blockages. It's made me calm down and been like, look, just as your rig is getting done, it's fine. You don't need to super stress about social media. Your business is okay. Just keep doing what you're doing. It also reminded me that so yoga is back on Monday, because the calming effect and the change of state, so the ability, instead of being consistently in a yang scenario where I was in a yin calm scenario, I felt better in general. Like, not I felt better, but I was like, oh, you can change your state. Cool. So yoga is back in and I'm yogaing. As many classes as there are, I'm at all of them. That's what I'm going to make that vow to myself. So all the chill classes for yoga, I will go. I know it works for me. I know it's good for me. It's good for singing. I will just force myself, and after a few times, I'll be like, oh my God, I love this again. And the shifts will start happening. So that's positive as well. But grass during this diet, no. And to be honest, in a weird way, like, don't know where grass will sit or won't sit. The cool thing is though, it did allow for some amazing bars to be put down with music. So it did give me access to a certain level of creativity, which is kind of cool, but it also makes you sleepy. So it's like, it would have to be a small amount and dosed with caffeine as well, so you've still got the energy, but you've got a little bit of creativity flowing around. But point is it's just, I was correct. I put her on such a pedestal because it's been so long, and it's just not, it's not what it's meant to be, and that's made me sadder. It's actually like, oh, I just loved spending time with my ex-partner. Like, these other things were like little sprinkles on top here and there, but I loved spending time with my ex-partner. In saying that, from the festival, she still hasn't returned officially online, and the times that she is online to like put up a story, which is her ads to make sure that her business still runs, she puts them up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, which means if she's in Australia, the only people that are up at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and also like immediately, like one ad goes off, the other ad immediately goes on, the only people that are that is people on substances which are uppers and sharpness. And the sad thing about that is that's what she's had. Forget everything else that's problematic. This is actually, she has been close to hospitalizable many times. And if she's truly neurodivergent, meaning has a bit of autism and ADHD, it makes sense, and they need to stay wide away from any of that. But basically for her, she had made a vow to herself from 3 months ago that she would never do that again, ever. And that was her thing that she kind of lent on. Like, that was her thing that she lent on. She's like, I'll never do the Colombian sugar. Like, I have problems with it. She tried to go to Narcotics Anonymous, like, and they kicked her out or something. Basically, point is she's, you know, there's two explanations for this. She's either not in Australia and she is already in another country, which would mean it's not 3 a.m. and she's just on it, but still hasn't resurfaced online. Who knows why? But the other one, which is the more likely scenario, is she has gone to her festival. She is, you know, it's now a deep, long time of substance use. And what happens with long-term substance use is your serotonin, your dopamine, your happy chemicals keep crashing. So if she was already in a psychosis a month ago, it means all the neurochemistry is right at the bottom. It's like a depression, meaning if you stop everything, all you want to do is quickly try and get dopamine. So you're going to be eating, you're going to be doing substances, like the desire to do that is going to be way higher because you can't sit with like actually coming down off your 7 months. And she's not around, based on what I've seen, she's not around smart people, or just a lot of just mentally unwell people that are still sort of in the scene in their 40s or something, or 50s in a weird way, like, and don't really have jobs, or some jobs in like retail, just like weird, like genuinely not switched on cats, not problematic users, let's call it that. It doesn't matter, like, as in a person that's like, oh, you have autism and ADHD, I have autism and ADHD, let's go do substances together. That kind of like and she's smarter than that, but you also can't beat your dopamine and your serotonin systems. No matter how smart I think I am, we can't. I made like a long time ago, over a decade ago, was like, I cannot outsmart my dopamine and serotonin systems. Like, it is just so primal to us that you cannot outsmart it. You cannot beat the substance, you know, you can't beat the alcohol, you can't beat the cigarettes, you can't beat the Colombian sugar, you can't beat it, you can't find a way to, at the end of the day, the thing begins to use you. So, and that's kind of the respect that I always have with any substances, including any of my use. Like, it always is on top of you, even though your rational brain goes, oh, blah, 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 blah. Your rational brain doesn't know shit. We're a monkey. Like, that's the reality of it. That's really upsetting. If that's the case, which I may never know, but that's just really, that is really horrific, to be honest, if that is for her. And why it's horrific, it's not, I mean, it's horrific for me, but it's horrific more for, I know the guilt inside that she would feel or not feel, or going through, like, this is her beginning, like, an official, like, severe descent into rock bottom, because it's like the last word you've broken with yourself again. You're now overeating, doing the things that you said you promised you'd never do to yourself, and that's how you prove to yourself that you have control. You're in psychosis, you're threatening people, you've disowned your family, you've got a new partner, you think you're going to leave the country, not leave the country, you're living in your ex-partner's country, in his apartment block, in his gym. I would just be like, the what is it? The rooster is coming to the rooster is coming to hatch. And the sheer amount of pain, even if she is about to leave Australia, maybe the pain is going up. That's like, this is it. Or she could be just having a great old time with her new relationship, and she's got a timer saying wake up at 2 a.m. and put the ad up, which she's just not that person. So she doesn't care that much at all. In her business, she's very not very on it, if that makes sense. So if there's anything else going on in her life, not very on it at all. It's like a blasé or whatever here and there, which is fine. Like, fine, great. The businesses, after we worked out how to set up sort of high scalability, and she worked out a bunch of things, and it became sort of more of a system where you don't need to do much, but it's eating her soul apart. The point is, if she's on it in that sort of way, that is, not a telltale sign of a good thing. Because if she's having a good time, her business is forgotten. If she was having a bad time, her business is generally forgotten. The only time that she'd be, if she's having a bad time and on substances, then the business is the only thing that she's like, well, I have nothing to do, it's 2 a.m., I've done everything, I'm going to do this, And also, I feel a little bit guilty. So ever since she's come back from the festival, it landed up that the video of we broke up. So literally, she had been in my space around while I'm filming videos up until the point of I've come back from Los Angeles here alone, and I said we break up. That video got released the day after she came back from the festival. So even though she said she'd never watch my content ever, I don't know, curiosity would kill me. Personally, curiosity would kill me. I know what we felt for each other. At some point, I'm gonna go, let me check what this is. And imagine if during that point, she checked and it's like, we broke up. And now she's watching literally the mental breakdown and the demise of everything I felt from I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, every single day. It's that begins to be quite wild. That begins to be like, whoa, okay. That's, that would emotionally also hurt. But online, she's still everywhere, publicized with her new love of her life, boyfie, which looks like her stepdad, like identical. So maybe it's a good thing and they're loved up, but again, at 2 a.m. if you're loved up, are you quickly checking your work? And it's not, anyway, it's like, I'm just trying to find the good thing. in all of this, and it's not looking good, buddy. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, which is. I can't do anything with that. I can't do anything without that. It is what it is, and it is what it isn't, and I can't do much about it. You know, that's the reality of the situation. So I'm sitting with that. Grass has been nice, however, it's just not as functional as I think. I think it can become more functional when you have like a concoction of other things in your system, etc., and it's not functional at that point. So it's like, it's interesting. And with grass, I think if you become a regular consumer of grass, you can get to a place where you can more do stuff throughout the day, etc. But by that point, your whole system and energy is kind of slowed down. So it's not really, it's not perfect. So, but it created also vocally a very different emotion. So I was able to definitely lean into more of my like bit sexy, bit flowy. So it's like, that's interesting. But I wonder that as my normal confidence goes up anyway, does that transpire into that? Or I think it just has to be used in a smarter way, where it doesn't like KO you, if that makes sense. Where it doesn't, just take you out. So anyway, that's my current thoughts on that. And the thought is that, I've had to think about this, and why am I entrapped in this whole women X thing? Like, X women, my father left me with that. He's like, a woman is important in your life, trust me, do it, get it, and everyone's been speaking it. And it's been so difficult because right now I actually want to work on my self-love. Like, everyone's like, do that, but no one loves themselves. So it's like, it's hard for me to just step out of that and be like, just do me. So maybe I stop doing this, like, well, if it's not my ex and I'm not attracted to anybody else, like, what do I do? How about just do me? How about just go back to doing me? And that's kind of one of the thoughts that came out, that's like, man, you're putting such a high pedestal for females in general. Okay, you love them. Okay, you love their energy. It's nice. You get to feel nice. You'd like a cuddle. Okay, let's not put them up on a pedestal. Like, can you enjoy your life without that? Like, I can, right? I'm enjoying it so far. Like, how about just do that for a bit? Like, just enjoy that process. So, maybe as a general thing, while this cut is going on, while I'm just like cruising along with my business, why don't I just use this? Don't put a big thing on it. Just the next 4 or 5 weeks, man, just be more just about me. Just be more about me. Like, I'm just doing my stuff. I'm getting ripped, getting healthy, getting, like, social media's happening. I'm having a sing, having a ball. Like, chill. It doesn't need to be a big deal. The whole thing doesn't need to be a massive deal. So that's got a vibe around that. And yeah, that makes me feel good as an overall. It's like, cool, I can do that. Don't pedestal them. Like, why am I trying to think of females now when this is not the time to think about it? It just isn't. What are you doing? Not available at the moment. No, not for my ex, not for anybody. No, I'm just not really available. I'm figuring me out, because it is important for me to love who I am, because then I can be like, hi, I'm Andrew, and I've checked myself out, this is who I am. I can actually present like, this is who I am and what I'm about. And if I know who I am and I'm what I'm about as like an overall or at a much better place, I'm able to quickly weed out something that doesn't work immediately, and at the same time attract what does work quite magnetically, because I'll be like, I'm this way, and they're like, oh my God, I love that you're that way. And I'm like, really? Because that's me. And they're like, oh my God, really? And you're like, yeah. And then we hang out. So it'll create deeper, and it has already created way better, even short conversations with people. I've attracted my sort of people. Not everyone's my cup of tea perfectly, but I've attracted more like-minded people. So it's been positive in that way. Anyway, it's been a long video. Today is going to be Andrew just doing him and being like a little luxury to himself today. So fuck yeah. Andrew's just having a ball today, and Andrew is not going to be weird about it and self-deprecating about it, and he can have a day where he's just going to kick back. He's still going to be doing stuff, and he's going to be kicking back. Win of both worlds. I'll go get a haircut. Amazing. You know, I'll go for walks. Fantastic. I'll have a sing. Fantastic. I will not put any pressure around myself today and be like, it's going to be okay. So that's my thought. I love you. I hope you're having a great day. That's today's thoughts. Thanks for hearing me out. And let me know if you see a difference in my energy, because this is like, there's been no grass and then we've had grass yesterday. So it's like a 2-day experience, because like right now I'm in that groggy phase until it kind of comes out. Tell me if you notice a difference. Like, do you notice a difference in my speaking, in my energy, in my thing? Because it could be useful for you to see, because a lot of people go, oh, something doesn't affect me, something doesn't affect me, where you can actually see live as things change. And that's why I wanted to always, in the daily filming, if ever I do partake in events, festivals, different substances, whatever it is, you're able to see live what it does to a person, so you can know, because it's very hard to see yourself, but it's easier to look at somebody else and see the changes in their behavior. So then you can be like, well, that was positive, that was negative, that sent him off the wrong path, that sent him on the right path. And you'll be able to see that better than I, and then you'll be able to make conclusions for yourself around that. So hopefully that's useful to you. I love you very much. Have a brilliant day. Peace.